Thank you to this week's sponsor, Everbee. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Ashley from Lace Spirit Designs, and we're at Level Up Expo 2026. So this is actually day 2 of the event. It was pretty steady all day Friday, and I didn't end up vlogging at all. Just I feel like I've been so out of the loop with vlogging lately. I'm like a month behind on videos at the time of filming this. I just wanted to jump into the flow of the day, and it was the best Friday that I've had in almost 6 months, I think. So I'm really excited to see how today goes. But let me show you around the booth because there's a lot of new stuff. So this is the most full the booth has been in ages, and it looks great. I have so many new products that I'm so happy with. So here's our really cool stamp rally that we're doing. And I brought back fan art. This is the first time I've had fan art in years. So we've got some witch hat stuff. I brought back my Pokemon Deco stickers. I even restocked some of my other older Deco sticker sheets that were pretty popular at the time. And I've made a whole bunch of Chikawa stuff. Lots of little die cut stickers. And there's a couple of other older designs that I brought back as stickers. But here are all my new tiny vinyl stickers. My little Chikawa ones are so freaking cute. I'm obsessed with them. They're tiny little sticker sheets. Here's another one of my older designs that I brought back as laminated vinyl. We have new washi tapes, lots of new washi tapes. Brought back a couple of older ones that were popular too. And this one I made into foil, so all the little stars are now foil gold. And of course we have the Artist Alley Shopper Notepad, which was really popular at this convention. I was so pleased how popular it was. So I discovered yesterday during setup that I did not pack any business cards. I just straight up forgot them. So luckily I have new sleeves in, which I unboxed on camera a couple vlogs ago, and they have all my info on the back. So I've just been having people take a picture of this, but that's all I have left for like the whole rest of the weekend. So I'm gonna have to keep one behind for that sort of situation.
surprised you were able to get away from the Pokemon lab. Good for you. Oh, the stamp wrap.
I don't even know if you guys can hear me. It is so freaking loud in here and it's so busy. It is 3:30-ish. We have like 4.5 hours left. It ends at 8 tonight. I'm already almost sold out of stuff. Like, this is all the sleeves I have. I've got one bag of bags left. I'm sold out of the This Effing Sucks sticker. I'm sold out of the Starry Blue potion bottle keychain. I'm sold out of a couple of sticker books designs. There's a couple of them that have a last one sticker on them. I haven't really even gone out to the front to look at the state of things, but like, I really underestimated you, Vegas. And I think I mentioned I didn't even bring business cards, so I have one of these held back so that people can take pictures of it as they need to. And this is the last YouTube subscriber sticker that I have, so I did not even have time to cut more before the show. So thank you guys so much. I really, really needed a good con because everything that I've been doing has been so mediocre and it's really disheartening. So it's really nice to feel good about what I'm doing and the time that I'm spending doing it. So thank you guys so much. Everbee is celebrating Christmas in July. This is every Etsy seller's chance to win in Q4 by grabbing the growth plan at its lowest price since Christmas. Now until August 3rd, you can grab the Everbee growth plan for 3 months for just $49. That's a 45% discount. After that 3 months is up, the plans renew at $239 for the full year, but you can cancel at any time. Be sure to check out the affiliate link in the description below to join now and get a head start on the busiest shopping quarter of the year. Now let's get back to the video. Good morning, it is day 3 and it is about 10:30, so VIPs have been in for about half an hour. We just got the booth all unlocked and set up for the day. I did a little bit of restocking and refreshing of the booth because yesterday was so crazy. It was just non-stop busy and we were so tired by the end of it. I didn't do really any more filming after my last check-in, but we stayed until 8 p.m., had sales pretty much right up until the very end, and went to dinner, did a little bit of shopping because we had to get more stuff for the con, and then came back to the hotel and died, basically. Today looks like it's gonna be just as busy. There was a huge line out there to get in. I had people telling me yesterday morning that even though they got to the convention after doors opened at 11 o'clock, it was still an hour-long line to get inside, and it looked about that many people, if not more, today. So I think the K-pop Demon Hunters speaking voice actresses are here today, and I know there's been a lot of other like guests that are super prominent, so lots of people here to see them, but things have just been going really well, and I really needed a good con, so thank you guys so much for coming out and supporting us. But yeah, we have tons of stuff that have sold out. I'm low on so many things, and I still don't have any business cards. I probably should have tried to get something printed, but I don't even have my files accessible with me, so it's fine. I have my branding on everything, so hopefully I'm not hurting myself by doing that, but I'm at least having people take pictures. So let's see how the final day goes. blank bag for other pieces. So if you wanted to do that and a bottle, I would still order it. I have barely had time for a check-in, but it is almost 4:30 and it's just been nonstop. There's been like a couple of really slow moments, like very few and far between, but every time I sit down, people walk up to the booth, so it's just been crazy. And I'm making Ryan, standing over here, hold down the fort while I do this check-in. Yeah, it's just been nuts today, and I have sold out of so many things. Some of them are marked sold out, some of them are not, so you wouldn't really know if you didn't know that there was something there. But I severely underestimated how well the show was gonna go. Because the last time we did it, it was okay, but we have surpassed the numbers that we made in 2024 by quite a bit. So I'm super pleased. This is so far the best convention we've done yet this year, and it's only April. So if I don't check in by the end of the show at 6 p.m. today, be sure to stay tuned for the rest of the video where I talk about how the con went for us, pros and cons, cover a little bit of general information if you're not familiar with Level Up Expo, and I will also discuss my profits versus expenses. So if I don't see you guys again, thank you so much for watching and stay tuned for the rest. All right, now that it is July, we can talk a little bit about how Level Up went for me. So let's get into the overview. This year, Level Up was held April 24th through the 26th, 2026 at the Las Vegas Convention Center in the South Hall. I didn't manage to check out what the ticket costs were this time for 2026, but here's a screenshot of what the price ranges are for the 2027 show coming up next year, and they typically seem to range from $45 to $267 for a VIP package. And according to the Level Up website, there were over 150,000 attendees at this event. And if you've never been, the Las Vegas Convention Center itself is massive, spanning several blocks. The one building that we were in was also huge, and the artist alley was from one end to the other, and there were two entrances luckily, and I think Ryan's watch calculated that from one end to the other was about a mile. So it was definitely like leg day for attendees. And busting out our inventory spreadsheet, Inlay Spirit Stats, we sold 749 products at this event. Our best-selling items were our die-cut stickers. We sold 246. And as usual, our worst-selling items were our acrylic keychains. We sold 15. And once again, our best-selling individual item were our mushroom gacha log. We sold about 20 pulls. Some pros for Level Up. We've done this show 2 years now, and the vibes are always really cool. The attendees are super high energy and really engaging, and they're just really kind people, and I had a lot of really great interactions. And as you would expect for a convention of this size, the guest list is always insane. Level Up is really good about getting like almost or full cast of an entire like game or series, so attendees have a good shot at, you know, getting all of those autographs. But it's also really great for the artists who are selling fan art of those particular things, because they tend to do really, really well. And stamp rallies are a big hit at this show. We were in a stamp rally with some friends for this really cool set of Pokemon enamel pins. And even though our stamp rally, our fellow stamp rally artists were literally spread all over the convention, people loved it, and we saw a huge spike in revenue because of this stamp rally. Lastly, and I mentioned this in my previous Level Up vlog, if you want to check this out, this show is juried for Artist Alley, and I love that they do a booth contest, a booth design contest. I have never placed in the 2 years that I've done it, and it's like one of my biggest goals to place at all in this contest, because you get the next year's booth for free. But it brings out the coolest looking booths, and it really is just so inspiring to like be next level, and like it keeps me wanting to better and better my booth design. Now for some cons for this con. First and foremost, I don't even think I talked about this in the vlog, badge pickup for artists was an actual nightmare. We were at one end like of the artist alley by one entrance, and we parked at that side, and you go in and they told us that the registration was at the other end of the building. So we had to go outside and walk all the way down a mile to get here in the hot Vegas sun, only to stand in line for probably about an hour because artists didn't have a designated badge pickup line. We were mixed in with like the general inquiries line for like volunteers and attendees. And we were there literally for almost an hour. And once we got up to the front, you know, everybody had an issue and like they were helping certain people for a long time. My line wasn't moving very fast. And, you know, we get up there, here's my name, this is my booth number, this is my booth name, okay, cool, here's your badges, go. It took 5 seconds. So I don't know what the solution is if literally just giving us our own line. Like, sure, it's kind of a pain to walk to the other end of the building, but if that's where registration is, whatever. Give us our own line. Artists are always treated like an afterthought, and it's so annoying, and that just kind of set the mood for not only a very long, strenuous 7+ hour travel day for us, and then to have to go and set up our booth and then figure out dinner. Like, it just kind of set the tone, and I think that was kind of the reason why, even though I had slept it off, kind of the reason I didn't vlog on Friday. But anyways, yeah, that was my biggest qualm this year. Another con that I could see from an attendee point of view is this is a massive show. I've personally never done AX, but I imagine it's somewhere along the same size. Maybe not necessarily for attendees, but it's a huge show, and there's literally no way an attendee can see every single person. So this is kind of why the stamp rallies help out. And lastly, the parking situation with the Vegas Convention Center is kind of weird, especially if you're not like a native Vegas person or you're not super familiar with it, because there's tons of parking lots, but they're all kind of like enclosed. You have to know exactly where to go in to get to that parking lot, and then it's not always straightforward where or how you pay. Like, I think the last day we ended up parking pretty much in the, was it the loading dock area? I don't remember, but we were pretty close to our entrance, and like there were other days where we parked like blocks away and we had to walk multiple blocks. But I mean, it's just really confusing. So if you ever do this show, just keep that in mind. Now, let's get on to the profits and expenses. Again, if you are unfamiliar with my vlogs, this is the part where I discuss my expenses in full dollar amounts. I will show you a receipt with my actual numbers of what I spent to be at this show. And then I will show you a pie chart of percentages with my profit breakdown by income type. And if you want to see those in full dollar amounts and see exactly what I made at this show and any other show that I have vlogged, you can check out my Patreon for $5 or more, or my YouTube members for the $2.99 level, and you can see all of that and any of my past things that I have vlogged. Sorry, I haven't had coffee yet. Let's check out my expenses, and here is my receipt. I feel like I didn't do too bad this time, and I knew going in, like, the hotel is always going to be expensive because we come in Thursday and we leave Monday, and we don't usually do that. Typically we will leave Sunday after the event if we can help it, but from Vegas to Fresno it's a 7-hour drive for us with like just having to stop so many times to charge. So I knew that was going to be a big one. And of course, you can't do anything about the booth fee unless you are good enough to win the contest and get it for free, which maybe someday I will. But yeah, so $500 for the booth, $700 for the hotel. So I knew going in from last time we did this show that we had to be really good about food, and we were. Like, I feel like for that many days, over $250 for 2 people is not bad. I feel like there may be some charges I'm missing, like a couple of coffee runs that Ryan did during the convention, but it was hard to tell from my poor documentation, and then so much time has passed. It may have been a little bit more, but still pretty decent. And then we only paid $30 for parking, even though it was $15 per day. And I don't remember how we got away with a day of not paying for parking, but we did. And then of course, we stopped like, I don't remember, like 8 times in total to charge. And I think we had charging at our hotel too, so we only paid $113 for charging. So I feel like for as big of a show that this is, and so far this is my best income show for the year, which compared to previous years is actually kind of pitiful. We didn't do too bad, especially because like I think I had spent more being at like Sakura-con and I made significantly less. So I'm pleased with this. But this is an idea of what you can expect if you're going in, not hotel sharing, but like just an idea of what you might spend at this show. And now let's take a look at my percentages pie chart for income. And that is, I feel like it's never been quite this card heavy for me before. Like 70% card is insane. And I had one teeny tiny Venmo transaction. One tiny transaction. And yeah, I mean, I don't know, maybe people in Vegas just spend most of their money going to the slots. I don't know. So it was very card heavy. And yeah, so if you want to see uncensored amounts, you know where to go. So all of that to say, I really love doing Level Up. I was really bummed last year when we were waitlisted and we didn't get off the wait list. And this is the only Vegas show that I've ever done, but I've been told that it's the only Vegas show really worth doing. So I'm happy to stay in its radar enough to like keep getting in. I have already applied for 2027, so hopefully we get in this time. Maybe we'll even come with a booth that's worth winning something. Who knows? But this one, I have a lot of fun, and thank you so much to all of the friends that had us do the stamp rally. It was so much fun. But yeah, let me know. I know I met a couple of you guys at this show. Been a minute, but let me know if you were there. Let me know if you have ever attended Level Up, if you want to attend Level Up, if you want to be a booth at Level Up. Again, I haven't had coffee. I might be mincing my words, but I'm gonna go ahead and end it here. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.
And that's why I wish you the best.